And in the welcoming of tonight's evening, this discovery experience of the Dowsing Consortium, I just want to honor the ancestors with a Maori prayer invocation that was gifted by Barry Brailsford. Nā te manamatanga ti, ki te nako o te atua, kia koha te manamatanga ki te nako o te tangata, kia koha te manamatanga ki te ao, ma te manamatanga, ma te aroha, me te kaha e whaku, te whakare nui te ao, ti he mōri ora. From the source within the mind and heart of creation, may light flow into the minds and hearts of the people. May it shine forth on the world, and may light, love, and courage realize the dream of peace on earth. Tihe mori ora. Ooh. Let's take a breath as we call in the ancestors to our evening and all interdimensional light beings here to support this consortium and those that are standing at the edge of the horizon in curiosity and trust. And with that, I just want to welcome everyone. And so tonight is a discovery evening, and it's a participatory evening as well, where you can ask questions. And like to introduce Charlie and Tyson. And Charlie Riverman, some of you might know him from on Facebook or from being part of the consortium. And he and Tyson, who can share a little bit about himself. Tyson's an amazing gift to the planet. He holds so many different star keys, I guess I would say, and he can express from him what's his gifts. And really tonight, just from some of us, you know, what is this consortium and why are we coming together? So I'm just going to pass this beautiful, I don't have it with me, whoops, this crystalline talking stick, or Charlie will show one of his beautiful skulls that's sitting in circle with us tonight. And then Tyson, if you'd like to just share your experience and what is the consortium to you and why are we coming together? So with that, I'm complete. I'm going to put myself on mute.
Well, it's a very interesting question, and good evening, everybody, or afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Tyson Bannigan. I'm a master dowser, and I live in Tappan, British Columbia, in the interior British Columbia, Canada. Shelley and I met at a Crusters conference and immediately connected and had the experience of knowing that we wanted to work together. I think one of the symbols that's followed us around certainly is the hawk, has been the unifying symbol that Shelley and I know that we're on the same page. There seems to be hawks that hover in the sky or remind us that we need to reconnect. I had taken a hiatus off the summer because the other group that I'm meeting with was at the same time. And it's nice to know that possibly this time around we'll be on a different schedule so I can work with both groups. I think the 12 around one is really a calling for all of us now. You know, the Knights of the Round Table is 12 around one, Christ, 12 disciples around one. And the one is the Divine Mother, the unknown, the dark feminine energy that is always there but cannot appear until 12 in the actual physical world appear. So the 12 of one around one, whether it's the 12s around one crystal skulls, is really what we need to learn as a group to co-create and to bring about this new evolutionary step, not only for humanity, but for the planet and also for the galaxy and for the universe or multiverse. So it is really, really important. And my work has mostly been evolving into clearing stargates on the planet. And one of the ones that we started with here, and I learned so much from this group, working with them, was in Washington, D.C. And from then I've gone on and done a number of stargate clearings in Israel. and we continue to do that. And more about all that as we move along. So that's one of my primary interests is the gathering of 12 around 1 to clear stargates on the planet as part of this evolutionary process. So I'll leave it for that for right now. Much to say, but we have to give everybody a chance to speak. So that's it for now.
I'll speak next, as I've probably been in the group the second longest to Tyson here that are present. And I'm Charlie Riverman. I live in New York, Maine. And I'm an earth angel and a spirit in service. And so I came to the dowsing through Shelley. Actually, she appeared not knowingly about a mile and a half or so from my house to teach dowsing. And although I had done much spirit work, and I now look back and it was dowsing in a completely different form, but I didn't have any understanding of it and became immediately grounded and deepened in my relationship with the earth and the earth grids and the stars and the star grids. So with that said, that's what I work with primarily. My purpose really is to anchor peace, light, and love into all living forms on this planet. And so that's what I primarily do with the dowsing. And in the consortium, I uphold the energy as a guardian and protector. So it's been a journey for me for the past couple of years. It's just been amazing. And with each group of people that come into the consortium, we learn so much from each other that's just, it's hard to really put into a concise story. So I won't belabor the length of time here, and to say I'm complete, and it's a pleasure to meet those of you who are new, those of you who are listening and not present, and those that I've sat in communion with in the SEEDS community here over this past summer. So with that, I'm complete. Thank you. And I will pass the yellow jade skull, Manfred Starvine, to whoever wants to speak next.
Whoa, thank you. So let's just open up. We have Joanne and Kathy here who have been part of the consortium, and then I'll share a little bit more. So maybe you could share your experience. They both came in this year, and yeah, just share what your experience is and why you're here and what you loved and took away from the experience.
Unmute. Hi, I'm Kathy, and I'm in Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm a relative newbie. I started this past summer with this group, and sort of felt like I jumped in full force, and it's been wonderful. I mean, it's like absolutely every meeting we have, the new information and the breadth of community and is wonderful. So I'm still finding my way, doing some dowsing, doing some land dowsing. That's my primary interest at this point. It's a process. I'm a newbie, but everyone has been absolutely wonderful and helpful, and questions are answered and new information flows freely, and we really share community, and I think not just information, but interest and a goodness for all. And I'm very thankful for that. And with that, I'm complete. Thank you.
You want to pop in, Joanne, or you want to wait? You have to take yourself off mute.
Hello, my name is Joanne. I live in Massachusetts. I started dowsing when I was in a paranormal group. Found that I had a very strong connection to using the rods, which probably came from me being in the water resource protection field for many, many years. I was very hands-on and trying to make significant changes in open space protection, water resource protection, by involving myself locally and regionally. I am the treasurer for the Watershed Council here, and I continue to work very hard, hands-on, to protect the earth and its resources. I came to the consortium and I felt very connected to each and every person. I hope to continue. I've learned a lot and I'm going to continue to learn a lot, and hopefully I can share what knowledge I have as well. And with that, I'm complete.
Thank you so much. So we want to hear from, if you feel comfortable, from Suzanne and Mary Alice, you know, what brings you here tonight? What called you? Because I mean, that's really part of what we all can share. And just in terms of myself, it was really after I spent time in Australia and New Zealand that this happened. And when I went to Australia, it was the place where the land started to speak really loud. And I began to understand that this calling, which had come, dowsing completely came out of left field in my life. And that for me, what I began to understand is when and I learned this also through Barry Brailsford in being in New Zealand and reading some of his books and talking to him and visiting with him, is that when we bring our loving attention to the earth, she can raise her resonance. She knows exactly what to do. And she feeds us and she nourishes us. So in this consortium, we're not only sharing and weaving our skills and our experiences with so much, and I think the key word is joy. Like every time I come into this circle, there's so much joy. And it's understanding that it's not only that the information field gets wider and then there's a quickening, but there is a sense of exponential purposing in us coming together, that we're all called for a reason. And so as we bring our loving attention and our skill and our wisdom, there is a magic that happens. And I really think that's the attractor field for me, that, you know, when I finally said yes to this, you know, okay, I'll set, you know, this space for this container to happen. There is, you know, sometimes we think, well, I got to do all my personal healing and all my personal work and get that all together before I can be involved with groups. But in my experience, what began to happen, and I think everyone can speak to this, is that my personal growth just, I don't even know if there's words for it. I just completely shifted my consciousness in working with a group where we intentionally brought forth the trust and this willingness to listen to the field, that the field itself, you know, this, as we bring our voice together collectively, the field really births new solutions that we wouldn't think of on our own. And so that's really the gift back to being a part of the consortium. And I feel like that's the reason we've continued for going into the 4th year, really. And it used to be that you had to be invited to this group. Like there had to be, number one, you needed to know how to douse. Number two, there was a sense of, there needed to be a sense of resonance of the people in the group. And last year was the first time that we shifted it up a little bit and began to invite other people, you know, people that were curious or wanted to learn to douse or wanted to be part of a group to participate. So we'll speak more to those details, but we want to open it up to Suzanne and Mary Alice, if you have questions or if you want to share, like, why did you come on this call? What's that? I mean, I'm so glad. I mean, Mary Alice, I don't know you, but, I'm looking forward to it. And Suzanne, oh my God, I love you so much. So, yeah.
Thank you. Well, I'm so happy to be here, and I want to thank you for inviting me. And I'm represent somebody who came on board because I'm curious. I've known you and your dowsing, and I've seen your passion, and I love you dearly. And when I got the invitation this morning, I thought, why not? I'll come on and I'll just listen and understand better. So I will leave it at that because I'm just here to listen, and I'm complete. So thank you.
Hello, I just unmuted myself. I'm Mary Alice. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good, good. I don't know where to begin. I'm your friend on Facebook, and I got a notification that this was going to go down tonight, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can do this. This is like a sign that I should do this because I started to say earlier that I'm in the end of June, I'm going to England, Ireland, and Scotland. Yay! With Patty McGivern. She's a hypnotherapist and past life regressionist. And I've been to Sedona with her and also southern France. And now she's planned a trip to the United Kingdom. And we're going to go. One of the things we'll be doing is visiting crop circles. And I thought, oh, darn, I wish I knew more about crop circles and dowsing. And so the more I looked into it, I'm super interested. And I've been interested in spiritual, new age, all different kinds of thinking. 9 years ago, I connected with a local author. I live in Palm Harbor. The local author is Janet Connor, and it has to do with putting yourself in a theta state and writing down your soul. So I've been following Janet for 9 years now, and that was the beginning of my story. And I'm just looking. I love books. I've got Lynn McTaggart, The Field. I've got crystal bowls. I have a certificate that says I'm a Reiki master and a theta healer, and anything that speaks to my heart, I just take as a sign that, I'm being divinely inspired that I should look into it. So I'm just kind of having a blast, looking into all of these things. And it came to me that, I should sit in on this call, but only if I'm really going to stick with it, if I really want to work at it, seriously, because some things I signed up for and then it didn't really resonate with me. But today I just got the feeling, my heart started to skip a beat, and it's like, oh, I really feel like I was divinely guided to listen in tonight. And also, I'm a friend in Lania Starhawk. I don't know. She's an amazing woman. Yeah, you're giggling. I bet you know Lania, and what an amazing woman she is. And so I still go to her studio. It's in Largo. And I'm still with Alania, but I just want to know more. There's so much I feel that, and I want to use it as a service to humanity. I'm just looking for using all the gifts that I have to help others, really. So thank you for listening to me ramble.
Shelley, you're on mute. You've muted yourself.
Oh.
Oh,
There
do
we
I
go.
need to switch off? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me
Oh,
mute
no, that's
myself, okay?
sure. No, it's fine. No, Charlie was letting me know that I muted myself. So, Mary Alice, I think it's really beautiful, just like Charlie was saying in the beginning, that we were Facebook friends before, and then that call that you're describing, that pumping of your heart, you know, that that call, and we discovered that I was going to be 5 minutes from his house pretty much, and teaching dowsing. So, I mean, that's how this works, right? It's a strange attractor is what it is. So excited to meet you, and we'll talk more as well. But this is definitely a place where, as Kathy expressed, you know, that the skills of dowsing, and for her, you know, whatever that particular holographic field is, that where you feel the calling, you know, like you're going to those places, to have the skill and the joy of taking a group with you and to bring the dowsing skills is pretty phenomenal, because there's a lot more information that's really being wanted to share via the earth and those places that you're going. And I also want to say, Suzanne, she didn't mention this, but we've been a part of what's called Earth Hearts here locally in Sarasota. And I'm kind of a global heart nomad. I'm hardly ever here, but they let me come in and out as I come back. And but the beauty of this group, Earth Hearts, is they too are doing something similar, but locally. You know, we're coming together. They're coming together once a month and being in nature and listening to nature and sharing. Each person kind of takes turns and brings their gift forward. So in a similar way, the consortium is, we're just more online and global, but as you'll see, and Charlie, if you could bring up one of your maps, maybe the Thousand Goddess map, and let's just show them a little bit of some of the things that we do and how we work together. And maybe the Thousand Goddess map would be good, or a Mount Agamenticus map, because what we're doing is we're listening to the field, and we're bringing what is necessary to that piece of land, or in Washington, D.C. We ended up, we're really called to the water, and we even started working with Aboriginal names. So there was someone from Australia in the group, and he brought forth his wisdom about sharing the need to bring back the vibrational frequency back into the water, in the land, by understanding the history of that land and the indigenous culture of that land. And what starts to happen is that people, as Kathy was sharing, people start trusting themselves and sharing what's coming through them, bringing forth their gifts. Everybody has a gift. Everybody's got more than one gift. And here in the consortium, it's almost like this nudge from the mother, the nudge from the earth, like, come on, speak up, because your part is vital for the collective healing of these different areas. We also spend time learning about ley lines. Great, Charlie, why don't you take over? And Mary Alice, you can't see, but maybe Charlie, you can describe to her a little more about this. And this is something that we worked on this summer that Tyson was talking about. And I'll put myself on mute.
I'm unmuted now. Thank you. So what's showing is actually, it's my Google Maps grid work, where I do a lot of my grid work. And what I do is I technically and etherically connect ley lines, create energy lines, connect sacred spaces around the earth as I'm called to. And this what's happened in Washington, D.C. was 2 years ago. There was the first Thousand Goddesses March, or gathering in Washington, D.C., and it was about returning the divine feminine energy to Washington, D.C. And when I tapped into that, I realized how many patriarchal blueprints have been repatterned and repatterned over Washington, D.C. for specific groups and for specific purposes. So what I was guided to create was a star tetrahedron pattern, and that's what I work with, is the star tetrahedron pattern. I actually place crystals in the earth and create them as multi-dimensional star tetrahedrons. So it may sound a little bit bizarre, but this is what I bring to the consortium. So what it is a map of Washington, D.C. with a star tetrahedron pattern that's drawn over it. And this summer, when we gathered, we dove into that, and we had people come in. And one of the most interesting things was I used rose quartz hearts in my grid work. And one gentleman mentioned that there was not one in the center. There was no center point, and it was perfect because that was like the frosting on the cake, the candles that lit the whole thing off, was to ground that rose quartz in the center. So when we come to the consortium and we share from our hearts our knowledge and our wisdom, irregardless of how we arrived at that point, it becomes one in the field for all of us, and we all take away something from it. So there's no one person in the field that's greater than the other, and this is the amazing process. And in the same time, Tyson created an invocation. I don't know if you can see me zooming in or out, but what happens is it inspired him to deepen in his relationship to what he was doing. So as part of this is the grid work. And so when we work, there are some visuals, and then there's some etheric work, and we all share the information. So it's just a little overview of what I do with crystals. I work with crystals and grids and placing crystals in the earth. And even if they're not, what I share with everybody is to print out those pictures and then place crystals on them and create a grid in your own home where you can then work with your energy and tap into that field of energy for the enhancement of the property or whatever it is the goal is for what we're doing. So I think that kind of covers basically what that is, and I'll remove that unless you want me to leave it.
Leave it for 1 second. Tice, do you want to add anything anything more about working in the Washington, D.C. area that you know?
Well, it was interesting for me in that I didn't actually see this picture when I started working in, and I got the star tetrahedron and as the vehicle to focus on. And then Charlie brings up the grid work that he's done. So right. It's just another example of the synchronicity of the group, is that we're really helping each other tune into the field and be informed by the field. And we become one piece of the overall puzzle as we come together. And it's the whole that's revealed. And so each person is unique in an integral part of it. And isn't that wonderful?
Great. So Charlie, take that down, and I want to welcome Terry, who's with Suzanne, who's now they each have a headset in. Welcome, and I want to show you something. So thank you both, because these are the kinds of things that we do in here. And I'm going to share the screen so that you take it to another level. So as a collective, come on over here. Where is that? Oops, let's get rid of that. Hold on, can you see this? Wait, where's the map? Come on, oh, here we go. Can you see this map? Yeah, okay. So, so what we invited everyone to do, as we, together as a group, we're creating the work for work for Washington, D.C., as Charlie and Tyson have spoken to, then we invited each person in the consortium to, like Charlie said, create their own map or altar that we would together connect each day with. And so this is just an expression of Shanti Hart. I was hoping she would be here tonight, but she's not. So she printed out, as you can see, she printed out the different maps that we were presenting over the 6 weeks. And this is another expression of, in the left-hand corner of Washington, D.C. If you notice an understanding that when they built Washington, D.C., it was built by the Freemasons. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew how to create a power spot. So these are some of the things that people sometimes don't know. They learn, all kinds of information comes in. And then she made her own star tetrahedron on a larger board with the waterways and her own crystals and rose quartz skull and different things like that. And she would every day go to this. And what was really cool about this was, if you know anything about cats and dowsing, cats will sit and be where the strongest distortion is, a negative vortex, as an example. Cats, you'll find cats that's where their purpose in here on this planet is to help protect us from these strong stress lines. And so she discovered what was really cool. She said her cat never sits in this one area. Her cat every day would come and sit right in the center of this star tetrahedron grid that she made. So these are some of the fun things that we do together. And yeah, just get to play together. I'm trying to, there we go. Oops, there we go. Okay. So yeah, so just let's open up the call and really jump in with any more things that pop in. I know that when we were working on Washington, D.C., it was really amazing. Tyson, who has a radio show, had met, I think her name was it Amy Jo Ellis? Is that her name, Tyson? No.
Yes, Amy Jo Ellis.
Right,
yes.
right. Okay. And she does a particular type of healing work, and he brought that to the group, having not even really tried it all that much. And he brought it to the group, and we used it one night, and it was so powerful. So it's not only like I have to come with what's my expertise? I can only come, or I can only talk with what I'm learned in, so to speak. But we can bring things that come across our field, and we as a group, can try them. Kathy and Grace, who's not here tonight, Grace has this piece of property that will be a center fairly soon. And there was a beautiful lake, but there was some problems happening with that lake, and there was a sinkhole. And just over the past few weeks, before we ended that phase of the Dowsing Consortium, together we all worked on that land. And it was amazing, just new pieces that were popping in that we were all learning as a collective, and being able to share the screen and have them go to the land and work with them as well. So, this is just some of the fun stuff. So with that, I open up the call and ask your questions, and yeah. And then I'll share a little bit more about how to, if you feel that you're called to be a part of the consortium, share a little bit more in a few minutes about that. And we can all take a breath. Pause. I just see these big smiles. So
I would just like to ask Joanne how the energy is, because she emailed us a couple of days ago or a week ago about the earthquake near her home. We've been working on land in her area, and it's about conservation and water and all of that. And then they had an earthquake which is in Massachusetts, which is not that common. So, and she was questioning. So do you have an update on that?
There's really been no update except for what I said. There was 2 small earthquakes here. Very, very unusual. The first one was followed by an aftershock, and then we got the second one. It was later at night, and I think most people were home relaxing and really noticed that one. Looking at the epicenter for, I think it was the second one, falls right in a very, very large gravel pit area, which is also very close to a major river. And I can't help but feel that all the excavation and mining that's gone on maybe contributed to this area having smaller earthquakes. It's just my feeling on it. And that's about it. It's been quiet since.
Oh, good. Well, thank you, because when I looked at my maps, I said to her, it's part of a larger picture. And then Julia from Australia tapped in and said a similar incident because of issues that they had in Indonesia and tsunami since that. So this is the kind of work that we do when we work together, is we tap in and we all listen from each of our own perspectives. And there is nothing that we dismiss. Everything is valid. And this is I think the gift of the consortium, and for me, was to be able to stand up in a group of people that I've never met, never worked with, and don't have any clue of their expertise, but feel comfortable in my own expertise and share and contribute. And that creates such a collective of wisdom and energy that each one of us walk away with something far more than we ever expected in the work that we're doing. And it trickles out into other things that we do. So this gathering of beautiful souls working together, each in their own way, coming together in this circle, is really a powerful experience for all of us. And it just doesn't end with the meeting. So I just wanted to share that with all of you, and realize that it's not just a place where you just show up and walk away and say, oh, that was nice. we take away part of each other with us. We become really, really connected on a level that's far deeper. And even if we don't talk to each other for 6 months, like Tyson and I, we're like brothers. And if he called me and said, Charlie, I had a problem, we'd be there in a heartbeat. So it's really an expansion of ourselves into each other. So I just felt called to share that. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. So what's also really amazing is that this is like a treasure trove, and there's so many pieces that are offered, from group protocols to learning new ways of dowsing to, maybe there's a sound healer, or maybe there's but I think what's happening here is we're applying it to the work we're doing as a collective. That, so you get to walk away with, wow, I never thought about that, and in my healing work, wow, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna expand, like as Charlie's saying. And I think that's it's hard to put into words what happens here, because it's like you can feel the field communicating what its needs are in a very magical way. So I just wanted to take the last few minutes and just share, well, how does this work? And in the beginning, we came together for 12 weeks at a time. And it was always weekly, because there's a coherence that happens if we do it weekly. This summer we came together, there was just this little break of time, and we did 6 weeks, but we did it every other week. But that was our first time doing it that way. And honestly, I think we all came to the understanding, those of us who've been involved, that every 2 weeks really wasn't enough. It didn't create a strong enough resonant field, and we came back and it was like this too much distance. So this time going into January, the consortium will start on January 11th. And it's about de-stressing yourself and the land. And we will come together for 8 weeks. And there is a small fee, and that fee is really to support myself and moving into this year, hopefully Charlie and Tyson, because they've really held the field here for so long, that there can be some gifting in that way as well. And for me, it is a lot of work to hold the field, I'm sending out all the emails, really listening and bringing in the different pieces, and also sending out the different protocols or what people are expressing, and putting them into documents, so that like Charlie said, it's not just like, oh, that was nice. You end up with tangible protocols and information as well. So with that, the only other thing I want to add is one of the things that I've kind of held to around this collective is that everybody should have a base of dowsing. And if you really are feeling a calling and you want to come in, the only thing that I will ask is if we can work out at least one session to get you dowsing, get you and get you the booklet so that you can understand. I put together, there's a manual, but also there's a booklet of understanding the various different stress lines, geopathic stress, negative vortexes, and what we're looking for and how to find them. In amidst all the elemental and other information, it's really you're going to want to know how to just basically douse. So that just requires a simple conversation with me, and we can work that out. I've always felt that those people that were called would know it, and with that, the invitation would be an exchange, and we would work it out for you to be part of the consortium. So I think that's pretty much it, and just want to thank everyone for showing up, and we'll just take another minute to see if there's any other questions. So we'll start January 11th. I'm happy to talk to anyone. If you feel like, oh my God, there's this person that would love this group and would love to be a part of the consortium and work together into the new year, because we have I feel like the energies are very, very potent going into this new year. Feel free to share the email, or I'll send out this video so people can experience it. And we would love to welcome each and every one of you to come play with us. And it's okay if it doesn't feel right, and you've just been here this evening, that's fine too, because in right timing, you will participate at some level, or something magically will show up for you with another group or that's dowsing or whatever. So is there anything anybody else wants to share or have any questions at this point?
Are we meeting on Fridays, or when?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So we've met on Sundays, Sunday evenings for many years. We shifted it up in the beginning of last year to doing both Fridays and Sundays. But there's people who come on from Australia who are not on this call tonight. And so we're switching to Fridays. And I think we meet at 7 o'clock Eastern on Fridays, so that allows people from Australia to come back on with us, and for also Tyson to come join us, because he runs another group on Sunday nights. So we'll be meeting on Fridays, yes, starting January 11th. And, it's not a problem if you can't make one, if you don't want to make, if you have other obligations, there's no issue. There's always a recording. And what tends to happen is people don't want to miss this experience, because it's always evolving. We are working with the evolutionary consciousness of the planet as we're doing this. So, yeah. Thanks, Tice. Anybody else want to add anything in? Okay. All right, so we always create an opening resonance for the call, as well as a closing. And if we're doing any specific work, we always do a protocol that protects the group and releases the group at the end. So Tyson or Charlie, you want to close our call?
Charlie's our man.
All right, Charlie, you want to close our call?
Charlie's our man. Okay. Manfred Starvine's our man today. Let's just take a deep breath. Inhaling the essence of life, knowing that as we exhale, it spreads out into the atmosphere and is then again breathed in by another living being. That within each of us, we are always exchanging each other. And this process of coming together in the unity of our breath is more than just a symbol. It's the statement that we are all one, that we are united in more ways than we could ever imagine. And it's that passion for oneness that brings us together in this circle, this 12 around one, this beautiful resonance field of heart and soul and passion that we have for our Mother Earth, our Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, our galactic brethren and sisterin, and all who have assisted us through our evolution as human beings. And we sit here in this moment on the crest of a wave that is humanity evolving. And so I offer my heart, my love, my peace, my light to each of you and to the whole world in this moment, and know that together we are the most amazing and most beautiful being that can ever exist in any place, in any time. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for opening your hearts, deepening your consciousness, and I bless you. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. With that, I'm complete, and thank you all for showing up tonight.
Thank you very much. Much love. See you. And yeah, come join us again. Much love. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.